When it comes to opioid addiction, anyone can fall victim. Brandon Holt, an upright leader in the community and preacher, found this to be true. After a car accident caused him to get back surgery, the medication to help with the pain turned into a secret addiction. Brandon discovered that the only way to be free of addiction and shame was to bring it into the light and be honest with his struggle.
Well, Brandon joins us now. It's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Gordon. Glad to be here.
Your story is, I think, all too familiar. In today's world, we're hearing this again and again and again. You had an accident in the hospital. You were given opiates. You were given morphine. You found out in that hospital that morphine could take the pain away, and then some. And then you get out of the hospital, and the pain relievers they put you on, it became a habit. What was going on in your mind as this thing starts to ratchet up?
When I first took the pain medication after the surgery, Gordon, I had a feeling that I never had before. A feeling of euphoria, which was designed to not only bring euphoria, but to treat the back pain. And after my back started feeling better, then I noticed I was using just to function, because my body would start going into withdrawal, the sweats, the cramps, nauseated, agitated, and it was more to treat the psychological aspect as opposed to the physical back pain that I was having.
Okay. So just to avoid withdrawal, you had to take it.
Absolutely. I got to a place where I needed it to function. We call that tolerance building. It went from 1 pill to 2 pills. They say every 4 to 6 hours. I was taking the medication, every 30 minutes. And being in the ministry, being addicted to approval and social acceptance, I was taking the medication before I would get up to preach. While I was preaching, I would have liquid codeine in a cup that I would sip on in the pulpit while I was preaching so that I could stay level while I was in front of people. And at that point, I knew that my life was spiraling out of control.
For people that haven't experienced withdrawal, what would you tell them? What was the fear that if I go into withdrawal, what's going to happen?
The fear is that you're going to be exposed, and that's why people who struggle with addiction continue to take the drug to mask withdrawal, because addiction is using despite the consequences. We don't care what the consequences are, and addiction is manifested through inappropriate behavior. So in order to block people from seeing this erratic behavior, which withdrawal will take you to, that's why people continue to use.
Okay. What finally outed you? You got confronted in the church.
I was confronted multiple times. There's an old saying, Gordon, when you think you're looking good, you're looking bad. and I thought I was looking good because I was...
You thought you had this under control.
Man, I had a system in place. I was really, really good, but my behavior was out of control. At the time, my family broke up, but it was also brought to my attention I was sweating a lot when I was preaching. I had lost a lot of weight. I was really easily angered. So I didn't see it, but they brought that to my attention, which let me know, okay, something is wrong.
Did you ever think you had a problem?
I didn't think I had a problem at first because addiction, when you become dependent on a substance, you don't see what other people can see. And again, addiction is manifested through inappropriate behavior. And I didn't see it until everything around me started falling apart. But I did know I had a problem. There's a saying, when you hit rock bottom. When I was at rock bottom, lost everything, my church, my family, my integrity, my career. And then I said, okay, something has to change.
Okay. In that, did you ever figure out the drug was lying to you?
The drug is always lying to you. It's very deceiving because I had a prescription, so I justified my use. I would doctor shop. I would fake a tooth injury that I had from 8th grade. So I would go to this doctor and use the x-ray on this tooth, and then I would use a back injury when I went to another doctor. So I've never had marijuana. I don't drink. I've never even had amphetamines, cocaine, but the pills to me justify, and so many people today, we justify opioid use because the doc writes a prescription. In the eyes of people, it's not as bad as your other drugs, but it's still a mood-altering substance, especially when abused.
Okay, what would you tell people who are trapped in this, that they got prescribed and now they find, I can't get out of this?
I was trapped too, Gordon. I didn't want people to know about my career. I mean, I didn't want to lose my career. I didn't want to lose my public image. But people who are trapped, you're only as sick as your secrets, and eventually you're going to continue to deteriorate until you lose everything. So if you're trapped, what I did, I finally called someone. I reached out for help because I had been a functioning addict. But when I picked up the phone and made that call, everything began to change because now I had somebody praying for me, coaching me, motivating me, giving me hope that I can make it. And most importantly, I had an accountability partner. So that would be my message. If you're struggling with any, not just drug addiction, but any kind of issue that you're secretly battling, talk to somebody. Just be careful who you talk to.
All right, that's true. That's why they call it Alcoholics Anonymous.
That's right. That's right.
You're trying to keep things in place. Did you go through a medically supervised withdrawal program?
I did. So I went to see a psychiatrist, and I was diagnosed with a mental health disorder. And I take medication still to this day. It was induced by the opioids. And they also put me on a medication called Suboxone. And Suboxone was used to counter my opioid addiction.
But aren't there problems with that?
I became very addicted to Suboxone. Insurance didn't cover it. I was paying several $100s a month. And that was harder to get off than the Vicodin that I was taking. So the Suboxone was used to kind of treat the opioid addiction, but yet it was very difficult to stay off of because it has opiate in it. It just has an agonist and an antagonist. The antagonist blocks the high that you would feel from a basic opioid medication.
What finally got you free?
What finally got me free, of course, was a phone call. But I called my son. Well, my son called me one day and said, "Dad, when are you coming home?" And with me being the Lord uses children to minister to us. And when he called me, I immediately thought about growing up biracial, social acceptance. Here's my children. I don't want them to have to go find acceptance elsewhere. So that was the day when he hit me with that. I said, okay, something has to change, and it has to change immediately. And that was the beginning of recovery. And I've been sober for 11 years today.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's great. All right. Well, the book is called Preaching Under the Influence, A Minister's Struggle. It's available now wherever books are sold.
BrandonHolt.org.
Okay.
You can find a copy of the book.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.